City back in the state's most restrictive purple tier, signaling new rules starting Monday. The city also issued a travel advisory warning residents not to travel outside the country.
Good morning.
Mayor Breed also included, "I don't know how to be more clear. This is the most dangerous time we've faced during this pandemic. Do not travel or gather with others." Last night's Mike Tyson-Roy Jones Jr. boxing match ended in a draw. This is USA Radio News.
For over 3 years, you heard me rave about the My Pillow Premium Pillow from Mike Lindell. You've heard how they don't go flat. You can wash them and dry them. They maintain their shape, and they are made in the USA. Well, now you can get the best deal ever on a My Pillow Premium.
I expected there to at least be a winner.
You can get standard or queen size premium My Pillow for $29.98. That's a $40 savings, and king size pillows are only $5 more.
That happens.
Now it's going to be a rematch and more money.
That 60-day
Yeah.
money back guarantee is now extended to March 1st, 2021. Go to mypillow.com.
The same thing with
click on
the
video offer square. Use my promo code
Fury and
USA.
Wilder fight, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. They had their first matchup, which ended in a draw. And then they had their second matchup, which Fury won.
Or call 1-800-951-8175. Tell them you want the USA Radio.
This one ends in a draw.
My Pillow Premium Pillows.
I think we'll go to a second match.
Pompeo accuses 4 firms in China and Russia of transferring sensitive technology and items.
We'll
to
see.
Iran's
Maybe this is a
program.
one and done for
The United States
Tyson.
on Friday announced economic sanctions
I don't know
on
now,
Chinese and
because
Russian companies
that was a draw.
Washington said had supported the development of Iran's missile program. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court dismissed a Republican lawsuit seeking to invalidate more than 2.5 million votes cast by mail in the general election. Justices on the state's high court ruled unanimously late Saturday that Republican petitioners waited too long to file their suit against Act 77, the 2019 law that established universal mail voting in Pennsylvania.
The rebels are led to our prisons. Admiral Housel came on light speed too close to the system.
He felt surprised, but wisely.
As clumsy as he is stupid.
Although James Earl Jones provided the voice for the space villain, it was David Prowse, 6'7" frame that hid beneath Vader's armor in the Star Wars franchise. In 2018, David was in a battle with prostate cancer and was announced Sunday he has died. He was 85 years of age. USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you
I should
want to
mention
go.
that too.
And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Ah, the memories. George Jetson getting mauled by the dog on the treadmill. We would laugh and laugh, and Jane, the wife, always got the cash on the dash. We Americans had a lot of expectations back in the day. The big one, flying cars by 2020. I know, right? So, drop what you're doing, sell the house, and let's move to New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire. Because that's where you'll find Republican Sherman Packard, a New Hampshire House of Representative from the Rockingham 5 District. Because of this man's efforts, flying cars are now legal on New Hampshire roads. You heard me right. Flying cars are now legal on New Hampshire roads. In a recent sit-down interview with New Hampshire Public Radio, Representative Packard said there was nothing on the books that would have allowed this type of vehicle on the road. To allow them to even exist in New Hampshire, we had to pass this type of legislation. Executive Director Jeff Rapsis of the Aviation Museum of New Hampshire says the first wave of flying cars probably won't distract traditional traffic, and so will prove an easy law for motorists to adapt to. The only downside, no one makes flying cars in 2020. Don't fret, my friends. The future is near, and when flying cars finally get to market, the state law in New Hampshire will permit their flight on state roads. Thank you, New Hampshire, for USA Radio News. Close Pride.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVVF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those...
Oh, very good.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVVF ownership
I guess so.
or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all
My bad.
programs are those of the host and their guests.
That happens.
Hey!
No biggie.
Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning. So some pretty exciting news out of New Hampshire, huh, Don?
Oh, yeah, the legislation on flying cars, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just heard that on the USA News. If you were listening, you heard that report. So I guess they made it legal, I guess. So if you have a flying car, it's legal.
Well, good job on New Hampshire. That's pretty cool.
It was starting early, I guess, right?
That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And we also have to report some sad news as well. David Prowse, towering actor who played Darth Vader in Star Wars, has passed away at the age of 85. The man in the suit of Darth Vader, the legendary Darth Vader, David Prowse, 85 years old, passed away this week. Any thoughts, Don?
Welcome to the Middleboro Review.
And welcome to Middleboro in Review as well. But any thoughts on David Prowse?
He's a towering figure. I mean, it's funny because James Earl Jones is the voice. He's still alive. And recently on Rogue One, which was put out, 2000... What was that put out?
I think it was like 16. I'm 17 or something around that time.
16, yeah. So, I mean, they were able to use his voice again in that, which was good. I mean, that was pretty much a extension of Star Wars, but before, I might as well have two movies, Rogue One and Star Wars A New Hope might as well just be one movie, if you think about it, because it's 10 minutes after each other, if you think about it. I mean, that's the closest.
Not even.
That's the closest they get together as far as a timeline in Star Wars is Rogue One and episode, the original Star Wars episode 4, A New Hope.
Yeah.
That's the closest they get to being one story.
So, yeah. And Mandalorian, of course, which is on Disney Plus. That's airing right now. I would suggest if everyone is a Star Wars fan to go check that out. Make sure you get Disney Plus and check out The Mandalorian because it's really cool. Great series.
Yeah, it's different. That timeline is... The Mandalorian, that timeline is right after the fall of the Empire, right after the Battle of Endor. Like a year after that, after the second destruction of the Star Wars, of the Death Star. So that's that timeline. It took us a little while to figure out the timeline. We started watching it, but then we figured it out. That's the timeline. And all these timelines. Yeah. I love the timelines in all these Star Wars.
Yeah, it's unique.
Yeah, it is unique. It's different.
All right, so...
Welcome to Middleboro Review.
Welcome to Middleboro Review.
We started out different.
Started off with some Star Wars, a little bit talking about some Star Wars and some flying cars. But now
you gotta say the date.
We gotta say the date, which is the final Sunday. I almost said Saturday. Final Sunday of November, the 29th. Next week will be December. I believe Tuesday. Actually, I'm not sure if this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Tuesday's the first.
All right. I'm just making sure. Tuesday is the 1st of December. So we're into the final month, or we're going to be into the final month of the year of 2020.
It's funny how we had leap year last year.
Yep.
And how leap year goes into play because December 1st, 2019, we talked about the Sunshine Skyway. That was a Sunday.
Yeah.
That was the first, and now the first is on Tuesday, so hence.
Yep. Hence the leap day.
Yep. Monday, so.
Yeah. And speaking about the Sunshine Skyway, next week we're gonna talk about it. Next week we're gonna revisit it, and mention maybe some new things as well that we did mention last year.
That was a great show. That was a pretty. I thought that was one of the better shows we had.
Yeah,
As far
it
as
was
last year.
a
Last year's
fun show to do.
Yeah, it was fun because we got to talk about the parade last year, which we're not going to be talking about this year because there's going to be no parade.
No parade.
So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But there will be holiday events in Middleboro, which we'll mention later on today in the show. Melissa Odie Morrison is putting on another holiday-themed event, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on the show.
I think Paul was.
Yes, Paul mentioned that yesterday as well.
I was listening. He had her on, and there's like a map you can get. Do you have that?
I will try to find it.
Yeah,
and,
I guess they have a map of this. Maybe if I heard right, there's a map for like $3, and you can go to all the different areas and see all the lighted up houses, and they're part of the program.
Yeah.
So it's a good cause, I think. $3, I think.
So we'll mention that today. We'll have some Amtrak news. We haven't talked about Amtrak in a while. There is some Amtrak upgrade projects in the area, in the northeast area, which we're going to talk about as well. So we have a whole bunch of different things today for Middleboro in review.
My head is spinning because you started the show so differently this year. But we are going to get to the weather.
Yes, and we're going to get to the weather right now. Middleboro, right now, currently 30 degrees and sunny, with a high of 56 today.
I don't see any sun out here.
Well,
not yet.
Sunrise hasn't 100% happened, it looks like.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of darkness. Okay.
So,
we'll get back to it.
56. 62 tomorrow, which is the pick of the week when it comes to temperature, not when it comes to weather. It will be raining. And actually, the next 2 days it will be raining, and it will be 62 on both days. Next day we're going to have sun is Wednesday, and a high of 47. In Taunton, Massachusetts, 29 degrees currently, 56 for the high today, and the same weather pretty much all around. Driscoll, Texas, currently 59, with a little bit of wind, 13 miles per hour right now, a little bit windy out there. 71 for the high, and it looks extremely good for the rest of the week as well. The entire week looks really good. No rain in sight.
In Driscoll, Texas.
In Driscoll, Texas. And in Driscoll, North Dakota, 25 degrees currently, 34 for the high today.
Doesn't get out of the ceiling.
And it doesn't really get out of the ceiling. Yes, exactly.
Get out of the woods or the weeds.
It doesn't. It's cold tonight, 15 degrees. It's cold on Wednesday. It almost is freezing. 32 degrees, 33 degrees for the high currently on the Wednesday in Driscoll, North Dakota.
So
all right.
If you need to know what's going on in Driscoll, Texas and Driscoll, North Dakota, you just tune in to the show, and we'll let you know at least every week if that's where you need to go. So.
All right, before we take a break, we're going to take a break here in just a second, but before we take a break, we want to mention that Williams Trading Post is now open. They opened the day after Thanksgiving. Williams Trading Post is at 556 Wareham Street in Middleboro, Massachusetts. And their number is 508-947-1598. And you can get a lot of different things for the Christmas season, like fresh cut greens, Christmas trees, and winter berries, which I mentioned in the ad that we're going to have next week, that we're going to have ready for next week's program. And there's much more that you can get as well. They're open Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Thursday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., open November 27th through December the 20th. So, Go there today.
Yeah, go get your Christmas tree. And it's funny because we've had people in the studio. We had actually the Miller Street Barn Band back in 2018, and we've had a Williams Trader Post for a while, a couple of years now. They're actually going on their third season with us anyway. And I remember a couple of the members of the band said, "Oh yeah, all of them. I think 3 out of 4 all got their Christmas trees." Ever since I was a kid, we're having a nice discussion about Williams Trade because it's such a part of the community. It's been here for 72 years? Or
71.
71st season.
71st season.
Okay, well, that's a lot of seasons if you think about it. So it's ingrained into the community. So a lot of people, I mean, Christmas isn't Christmas unless you can take a visit to Williams Trading Post and you buy your tree, maybe a couple, wreaths and whatever you need for Christmas. But that's more of a tradition. It's not like you're going to any big box store or going somewhere that's new, that just opened, or some guy on the lot. Not saying you shouldn't go there, but I think, a lot of people like the idea of Williams Trading Post being in the community for so many years. That it's the same as tradition as like the football game on Thanksgiving, which was canceled, which was a bummer. I think the only thing we did traditionally is eat turkey and listen to Alice's Restaurant.
Yep.
But we didn't listen on the radio either.
We listened to it at 8 p.m. on our Bluetooth speaker.
Coming home from my brother's.
Yep.
But, but I think that's hopefully a tradition that isn't sidelined like the football game was.
Yeah.
You can go, you could get a Christmas tree, go talk to Martha and other people helping her out, working hard. And I really think that's a staple. That's an institution in Middleboro is Williams Trader Post. Down there. It's a nice ride down Route 28. It's downhill.
Absolutely. It's 28 down there. It's beautiful down there.
It's down there. Route 28 is one of the nicest roads you can drive on. It's built up, but it's still nice in its own way. I've driven down Route 28 so many times down to Wareham, down that way, and I love going that way. It's real. I never get sick of it, and I've been down it so many times. It's just like one of those roads. Not like 24, which is the most boringest road on the planet. I'm not going there.
All right. Well, 4424. That construction is still going on. It is a maze of cones over there.
How you like that?
It's confusing.
Well, that's all right.
A lot of cones.
Help your driving skill. At least with no Jersey barriers. Pull the Jersey. Well, they got Jersey barriers up still. So.
Yeah.
They should be wrapping that up pretty soon. It's looking like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back.
Oh, there's one more thing I want to mention.
Oh, yeah.
I had I was coming down Route 24, coming down 93, coming from Boston in Randolph, and you split onto 24 South, and there's a lane configuration change on coming out to where the other side of 93 comes into 24. It used to be where you came out, if you were in the right-hand lane going on the 24, it's a 2-lane ramp going on the 24, that the other lane, they'd merge and it'd be kind of tight. You couldn't see the traffic. Now they built the lane all the way up, so if you're in the left and right-hand lane coming on 93, south on the 24 south, that you get to continue on the lane. It's the right-hand ramp coming from 93 north going on the 24 south has to merge, so it's easy for the right-hand lane. So they really did a good job on that because there used to be a lot of accidents there because of that, but that lane configuration is really good. They've been doing a lot of that when they've been doing paving. The lane configurations on getting on and off the highway, it's just more safe. I'm not sure if anybody's been noticing, but I drive a lot, and I've noticed just the way they've been lining things. Even the rotary is better because they're making the lane configurations better. Plain and simple.
Always improving. That's important.
It's just good. People need to see lines, especially when you get on the highway. you got like a small little blinker lane lines. It keeps you to the right, so it gives you plenty of time to merge off to the left.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people think they gotta either stop, because you don't want to stop when you merge onto the highway. You want to keep rolling. I mean, you really don't want to stop.
Yeah.
In some areas, I guess you have to. There's construction, it's a stop while you stop. But you want to keep moving. You don't want to go from a dead stop on a ramp coming onto the highway, because that's just going to cause an accident. So I see a lot of people out there that don't know how to merge onto the highway, which is frustrating. And sometimes you can't move over to the middle lane all the time. So I just think the new line configurations that all the paving they've been doing,
Yeah.
is good. They got it. So maybe you'll notice it as you drive around.
Good morning. Good morning, Paul Lazarovich. He's checking in here on the Facebook Live
All right.
for the show. And good morning, Paul.
That was a great show you had yesterday. I don't know what happened to Joey. He never showed up, did he? What happened, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not gonna.
I will be there next week.
You'll be there.
All
next
right.
week.
So 7:22 p.m. No, a.m. I'm sorry, not
PM,
p.m.
Huh? PM somewhere on the other side of the world, maybe. Right?
p.m. Yeah,
Yeah.
other side of the world. Nowhere near here.
Yeah, like you said. Yeah.
7:23 a.m. Not p.m. It's Middleboro Review for the last Sunday in November. You're listening to us on 99.7 FM, 1530 AM. You're also listening to us on TuneIn, WVBF, 1530 AM. You can find us there. Our audio now number, 605-562-7958. Our YouTube channel, Middleboro in Review, all lowercase, and our Facebook page, Middleboro in Review, all lowercase. You'll be able to find us. That's not the full name of the page, but if you type in Middleboro in Review, I'm pretty sure you'll be still able
Yeah,
to
but it's a
find us on
different
Facebook.
spelling. Tell them what the spelling is.
What?
It's MIDDBORO.
Yeah, it's BORO,
It's
not
not
UGH.
yeah.
I do not put the UGH
Well, I
on.
won't pop
Middleboro.
up. You'd be somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay, 7:24. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. And we're going to talk about the Christmas season in Middleboro. We'll be right back. All right. Good.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct-to-repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association.
I gotta
That's funny. I saw a motorcycle.
Yeah.
It said combat.
Yeah,
motorcycle.
I gotta give them a call.
I saw that. I saw a guy riding.
Yeah,
Yesterday.
I gotta give him a call. Jay, I gotta
Got a
give him
big
a
leather
call.
jacket. It said combat veterans motorcycle.
I gotta give him a call this week because it's Christmas area.
Maybe get him on the call in.
I'll have him call in too. I'll talk to him and see if there's any events coming up, and I'll have him call in. Because it's been a while since I've talked to him.
Most military guys don't sleep in.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked to him, so I gotta. Because now the events are starting to happen again, so gotta get a hold of him.
Those are the things that you can kind of keep going because you can social distance
Yeah.
on those rides.
Yeah.
To a certain point.
But yeah, he had one that was scheduled that got canceled.
Yeah, that was in April though.
Yeah.
That was like That was the fog of war, coronavirus.
Yeah.
No one knew what was going on in April. The cases were going out. No one knew what was going on. They
Yeah,
didn't
but-
have the therapeutics for it.
But now things are starting to open up. So
I mean, there might be more hospitalizations, but
yeah,
are there more deaths?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I don't know.
You gotta mention the food pantry too?
Yes, I'm gonna mention the food pantry because there's
What was
a
her
story
name?
for it.
What?
What?
What was the woman called last week?
Arlen White.
Yeah, give her a name.
Yep.
Okay.
who will add you to our list of clients. For the homebound or others who are self-quarantined, we will shop for you and deliver the groceries directly to your door. During the pandemic, we've taken all necessary precautions for the safety of clients and
Would you
volunteers and have managed to
take
remain
this,
open throughout the crisis.
in your car or your bedroom?
What?
When you did that, where did you take that?
Car.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I do all my ads. Car, because it's nice and quiet.
Yeah, I get it.
No one bothering me. It's quiet. So it's the only place I can do it.
That's a lot of house.
Yeah.
It's Talking Birds.
I was trying to get some sleep. His mama came out like 3 times.
Yeah.
At 2:30.
Yeah.
And 99.7 FM.
Doesn't register.
All right. Good stuff. And we're back here on Middleboro Review for the 29th of November. We want to very quickly thank Arlen White, who called in to the show Middleboro from the St. Vincent de Paul, talking about the
Last week, right, Joe?
talking about the Christmas time for St. Vincent de Paul and the importance of it and all the different things that they do. So thank you so much for giving us the time to interview you last week. So, speaking of the holidays, we got some events coming up in December. Middleboro's Melissa Odie Morrison, organizer of last month's Pumpkin Romp, is again looking to lift spirits in the community and raise money to help those in need. The Holiday Lights for Hope is her new endeavor for the month of December, asking the Lakeville and Middleboro community to participate in a competition to build the best light display. And goes on here. Residents and businesses entered in the contest will receive a luminary bag from the Willie Network to put in their window so that people will know they're participating. And a number as an official entry in the Holiday Light for Hope. Local residents can buy a map with all the entries listed by number and then take a ride around town to see all the light displays, then vote for their favorites. And for those who wish to vote and see the displays, there will be a $3 fee to receive a map and a ballot to place your vote. All votes must be placed and delivered to 48 School Street, Middleboro, by the 1st of January. The deadline to enter is December the 3rd, and voting will be open from December 12th to January the 1st. Contact Melissa Odie Morrison at 508-574-4898 or by going to her website, theheartandart.org, for more info.
That's more information to buy the map too. Does it say where you get the map or just get a,
No, not in that article.
Then you know what? Make sure you put that phone number so we'll call later and maybe we'll get ourselves a map. And we'll take a ride later.
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm sure. Sounds like December 3rd. So December 3rd is Wednesday. So
Yeah.
I'm sure anybody participating in this got their lights out. So we can go see some lights later.
Yeah.
It's dark, like what, 3 now?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah, 3:30. It was dark. It was dark right around 3:30 yesterday.
Definitely jot that down. You have her website, right? We can.
Yes, I have
it
it
on your phone.
Yeah, I can jot that down.
I'll be asking you later. You know that, right?
I have it in my email, so it's
good.
readily available to me.
Yeah.
So, yes, so that's another interesting event coming up, and that's.
She was talking to Paul.
Yes, she was. Paul Lazarovich had her on the show yesterday.
Yep, had her on, and very interested interview. It was a great interview, actually, and it was good that she was on, and I listened to it, and it's very successful. So hopefully, take my hat off to her, and hopefully there'll be success for this and other endeavors that she might have. Give it back to the community. That's important, especially these days when a lot of people need a lift. People bummed out about, especially the second wave of COVID-19 coming around. It's just kind of. I talked to my aunt yesterday, and she's frazzled. Just bad news that's coming in and everything. I told her just try not to look at the bad news too much. Just you gotta look at the horizon and get through this, because she's she can't do what she used to do. And she now she's afraid to go to church again. So I don't know. Hopefully, just we all get through this pretty well and keep it in perspective, I guess, and try to stay happy. Just be smart. Don't get all afraid of the hype that's out there. There's a lot out there, especially if you go online, right?
Yeah.
In some news agencies out there, not mentioning any of them, but people know who they are. They're just they make their money on fair. They make their money on scaring the public. You just got to try to figure out yourself who they are, and not to listen, not to buy into it.
Yeah.
Because we're all Americans. Americans are strong, and you can get through this. I mean, no matter what side of the fence you're on politically, we're all Americans first, right?
Yes.
So we'll have to, it's neighbor watching neighbor. I mean, we got a lot of great people in this area with the food pantry and everything else, especially the food pantry. Although, all volunteers, they don't get paid for this. They're doing this on the goodness of their heart. And I'm really proud of you for bringing up the food pantry and talking about it and getting some airplay and getting it out there. Exposure is great.
It's important too.
Right. So, same with the
it's extremely important that we talk about what's available for people during these hard times.
Right. Even the combat motorcycle veterans ad. You've been playing that for over a year now.
Yes. Yep.
So I mean, we all do what we need to do to get us through hard times, because it's really important. I watch that, and it's just like, I feel good when you talk about the food pantry.
Yeah.
I feel good when you interview these people. I feel good when you play PSAs helping veterans, because that's what we're here for. That's why we're here doing a show, and that's what I feel. And you kind of brought that on your own too. So you're really good. I take my hat off to you, Joseph.
Thank you. Okay. High school, the new high school, is 85% complete, according to the building committee. They had their most recent meeting November the 12th, and the project manager noted that the construction was about 85% complete. It's set to be done in February. It was supposed to be done in December. However, coronavirus did delay construction by about 8 weeks. So now it will be pretty much done by February. It'll be done and everyone will be moved in.
They'll probably do it during the vacation week.
Yes.
They'll pass the baton on that way. So it's usually February vacation is usually the week of President's Day. So it's usually around the 18th, 19th, 20th / the week of that. So it gives them a few weeks to iron things out. Kids will go to away for a week for their February vacation.
Yeah.
And when they'll come back, they'll come to a brand new, out of the box school.
There's approximately 130 workers on the site every day. Most of the ongoing work involves the installation of finishes. The 3-story academic wing is very close to being done. The last of the ceiling work is being wrapped up on the lower floors, and flooring installation, which is the last big item, is progressing from the 3rd to the 2nd to the 1st and should be finished next week. Furniture for the academic wing is arriving tomorrow, November 30th.
Brand new furniture.
Brand new furniture arriving tomorrow, the 30th.
That's why they can do the move so quickly. That's why they can do the move, because what they're going to be moving from school A to school B is pretty much files, personal stuff that teachers have, maybe some newer furniture.
Some newer furniture.
They might have bought. They're not gonna.
Yeah. The older furniture will stay in the old.
Right, and then they're gonna see. They got that big auditorium with all that seating. I'm not sure if they're gonna do that seating.
They probably won't.
Yeah, so
they probably won't. They'll probably leave the old seating there and.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, any talk of the demolition of the old school? Is that going to?
There is no talk. There is no talk of it.
That'll go quick.
It will go quick, but there is no talk of it right,
some excavators
right now.
And just
I think once the new school, we're going to hear something about it probably in January. Probably next month, or sometime in January.
Is that where they're going to build the new field at the old location?
I don't know. Okay. I know they have a new football field on the premises.
All right.
Yep, I know they have a new football field on the premises that was open in August.
That might be just more parking or just green space.
Yeah, I think there's just going to be more space.
Green space.
So yeah.
Green space.
Yeah. No word about demolition yet. I think it's a little bit too early because the construction's not done just yet, but I'm sure that they're thinking of it now.
Well, if they have demo, of course they got to probably demo it.
They're thinking about the way to go about it.
I mean, that was obviously that was put in the budget. It had to been put in the budget.
They'll probably start doing it in March or April.
I think they'll do it right away. I think once that's done, they
Well, of course, depending on
the construction guys don't go home until the job's done.
Yes, of course, but
they got the equipment on site.
Yeah, the factor is the weather. Is it going to be snowing?
No, it doesn't matter. Demo? You kidding me, man? It could be a blizzard out there. You could be in one of those. Caterpillar excavators.
Yeah.
A 450 Komatsu or something like that.
In a blizzard.
And, you're sitting in there. You got your radio on, and you're knocking things over, man. It doesn't. Demo don't stop in no weather.
Yeah.
I mean, those track machines, they don't get stuck in the snow. They'll be knocking things over, and not sure what they got to do. Are they got to grind up the brick and turn it into material and truck it away, or are they just going to truck the brick away? They have some rubbish, not rubbish, but it's more like wood, windows, stuff like that. That's more of a rubbish component. And then you have the brick, which is a different recyclable, which they'll either sell it. No, not sell it, but it's cheaper to get rid of than, say, windows, wood, plastics, stuff like that. So, they got to knock that down. And they're not going to take all the excavators and all the equipment away when they haven't done the demo. So, yeah, it takes a lot of time, a lot of money to move equipment. So, I think they got to be knocking it down sooner than later. I think they got to start it a week after the kids move it.
Speaking of demolition, the old gas station across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts.
The old Shell station?
Yes, it's gone.
On Grove, on the corner of 105 and 28.
Yep, it's gone. And there'll be a bank that is going to be replacing it, a Harbor One Bank. Harbor One Bank broke ground on its new Middleboro branch location at 2 West Grove Street on Thursday, November the 19th. For a move that comes after 20 years in its previous location. So that's interesting that they are
Yeah, I've noticed some little activity
moving
going on, something.
locations.
I didn't know it was a bank, but I'm sure there's a big old sign telling me that. But I normally got my eye on the road, not looking at bank signs. And stuff.
So sometime next year there'll be a Harbor One location, right in a pretty convenient location too. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in that location, AutoZone. There's a lot of businesses in that location.
Well, if you're coming down 28, or you're coming from the center, that's a good spot because it's you pull in right, roll out right.
Convenient for some.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a tough corner to get out of.
It is.
I never go to that Dunkin' Donuts just because of that corner.
Yes.
Because it's just you pull in on the left, and most people are going out to. I always notice, like, say Route 18, when I used to drive from East Bridgewater to Abington, the majority of the donut shops were on the right-hand side, heading towards Boston.
Yeah.
So you want to stay on the right. You don't want, during rush hour, I don't like the idea of crossing lanes.
Yeah.
I try not to during rush hour. I mean, if I see something, I'm going to wait and get it on the right, and I can pull out on the right instead of taking a left. That's a tough corner as far as people wanting to go to the highway.
Yes.
That's a tough location. I think I'd stop there. I don't even like stopping there. If I'm heading right down 105 to jump on 495, I normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
Unless I was taking a left to go right down 28, then I'd do it. You go through the drive-through, you hook a right. Same with Dairy Queen. I'll never take a left out of Dairy Queen.
No.
You can, but why?
You can, but it's different.
It's different, and then the traffic gets lined up, so it's just. I keep it right.
Yeah.
So I keep that in mind.
Hannaford's is another location that you cannot cross into traffic in. It
Well,
is
you
very
can.
difficult.
Well,
it's very difficult.
It's difficult, but it's not like on a corner.
Yeah. It's not impossible, but
but it's not.
difficult.
You down the hill, and then you got an intersection. It's not on a corner. The corners are tough because now you got to try to take the left out. You got to worry about people taking a left, taking a right. It's just a tough location.
There is that on Hannaford. There is a hill though. There's a little bit of hill that does a little bit when it comes to restricting sight, but it is tough. That's really
what
tough.
I do if I think it's real bad and I'll be waiting to take a left, I just take a right.
Yeah,
and I'll
that's
turn around somewhere else.
what I do as well.
You can always take a right, take a left into a parking lot, turn around, and then take a right.
Yeah.
You always go into the right. It's just trying to cross traffic. I mean, you could do it. People do it all the time, but it's just going to keep you out of trouble.
Yes.
If you get out of that habit.
Yes, exactly.
I drive an oil truck, and I try to keep it right. All the UPS guys, they try to go right.
Yep.
All the time. I set my route up, try to go right. I try not to cross. Sometimes you can't help it. But, I mean, if you 75% of your stops, you're going right all day, and only 25% going left, taking lefts, crossing over, I think your chances of having an accident just went way down. So, I mean, that's my thinking. Kept me out of trouble for a long time.
All right, 7:45 a.m. in the morning here on WVBF.
We're just a couple of catty chappies today.
WVBF.
Catty chappies.
15:30 a.m. 99.7 FM. And we'll be right back. We're going to talk a little bit about La Salette. La Salette will be doing their lights this year a little bit differently because of COVID-19, but they will be doing the lights this year. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about sports.
And Amtrak.
And also Amtrak as well. So we're going to cram a lot into the last 15 minutes or so of the show. We got to talk about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones boxing match that happened last night. We got to talk about the Denver Broncos quarterback situation as well. So there's a lot going on.
You better get to your ads so we can talk.
So let's go to our ads and we'll be right back. We gotta kind of do a quick. We gotta kind of do this quick. Quick.
Oh, don't do it so
Fire
quick.
it off.
Sounds like crap.
Yeah, I know. We gotta fire off 2 stories
Hi, this is
pretty
Jim
quickly.
Rockin'. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WBBF, the sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish
Okay, I gotta
music,
do all these
folk,
commercials.
traditional, country, and
That
contemporary,
sucks, but-
and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WBBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at
Yeah, I'll put that one later.
hometowntalkradio.com.
No big deal. That was out of point.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sycamore
That sounds like a Carpenter song. It does a little bit.
The AM news promo that I usually play.
Yeah.
It's not that extremely important. I can play that later.
What's an AM?
The AM news, it talks about the AM news, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Monday through Friday.
Chris?
Yeah, the Chris show.
I'd play it.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it real quick. I'm not. I'm gonna talk about it.
Come on, you gotta push the show, dude.
Alright, it's fine.
We can't get to
I'm
everything.
trying to-
Let's tell them next week.
I want to try to get to everything.
Oh, you can't. You can't.
Alright.
Well, play the ads.
Yeah.
For more information, go to
You want to push your show. You
I
want
was gonna anyway. I was
Yeah,
gonna just talk about it.
the ad probably just as good.
Alright.
When you start talking, it'll probably go over the time.
I'll do the ad. No biggie. I'll do the ad.
Hi, this is Chris Gage, host of the Morning
Trying to look
News
at
on
the time here, 7:47.
Beginning at 7
Trying
a.m. weekday mornings
want to
from
definitely get to
2 hours of
Amtrak.
the latest local headlines, New England sports, and the 3-day weather forecast. I also
Because I mentioned that,
several
and
featured
also
segments,
lost a
including
lot.
Little known facts with Chaz Allen.
Those are the 2 big things I want to get to.
The legal report with attorney Amy.
We don't have to get to sports today.
Check up on
I don't have
health
time.
and a report on your pet's health as well. Jen Williams
Alright, let's do the
brings the
Amtrak
stories behind
first.
the scoreboard with Jetstream Sports. And the USA Radio Network has the latest world
There it
and
is.
national news. So please join me Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the morning wake up news. It's all here at AM 1530, WBBF, and 99.7 FM. We are your hometown radio station.
Alright. Perfect. And welcome back to Middleboro in Review. 11/29/2020 is the date. Let's talk about Amtrak. Amtrak has some upgrade projects going on that was just given some federal grants. The Amtrak-owned Connecticut River Bridge Replacement Project will receive $65.2 million, while the Connecticut Department of Transportation Walk Bridge Replacement Project will receive $79.7 million. These projects will raise the maximum speed at which trains can travel on the bridges. Connecticut River Bridge, which was built in 1907 and carries Amtrak and Shoreline East trains, will undergo a full replacement. The new bridge will run along alignment parallel to the south of the existing bridge, offering improved reliability and higher speeds for Amtrak and Shoreline East trains. The project also includes submarine cable relocation and the construction of retaining walls and new alignment for the embankment. The existing movable walk bridge in Norwalk, built in 1896, has experienced increasing deterioration of electrical and mechanical components. The new bridge will include 2 movable spans carrying 2 tracks each, which can operate individually in the event of necessary track outage. Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation, or SEPTA, in partnership with Amtrak and Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, PennDOT, has also received $15.9 million to improve signaling on the Amtrak-owned Harrisburg line, also known as the Keystone Line. The line serves as Amtrak's Pennsylvania and Keystone intercity services. The FRA grant will support upgrades to the train control systems on the line in Overbrook and areas around there, enabling greater operational flexibility and higher operating speeds. So thoughts are, that's very good.
Those bridges are old, the ones on the, especially in Connecticut.
Yep.
So they can increase the speeds, because I know the accelerators have to slow down to a certain speed going over those.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's good.
That's good that the Amtrak is upgrading some of these older bridges.
That's why the accelerator can only go 150 miles an hour in some areas. Some areas in Massachusetts and some areas in Rhode Island, but the rest of the line is 135 tops, and then you get up to the cities, you're down to like 70, 60 miles an hour. So it's not truly a high-speed line through and through like you get in Europe, because it's not a dedicated line. In Europe, most of those high-speed lines are dedicated lines. Nothing else goes on them.
All right. Well, if there's any more information about this in the coming weeks, we'll talk about it. But that's very good news for Amtrak. All right, NFL, real quick. Colts, Titans are taking place today. That's a good matchup. Panthers, Vikings, another great matchup taking place. The Patriots take on the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, great quarterback. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Patriots and Cam Newton. The Raiders take on the Falcons, who will be without Julio Jones. The Falcons will be without Julio Jones. So that's a blow to them. The Saints, a lot of people are writing off the Broncos because they have a receiver who will be starting at quarterback today because of the situation with the quarterbacks. All of their quarterbacks have been deemed ineligible to play. The Denver Broncos quarterbacks have been deemed ineligible to play in this game. So a lot of people are writing off the Broncos. I would not do that. The Broncos are, at times, could play spoiler. They're a good team. They're good. They're well coached. The Saints should not take this team lightly, even though they are very, very thin on the quarterback position. They should not take the Broncos lightly. So Saints versus Broncos at 4:05 p.m. today will be a matchup to watch. Very interesting matchup. The quarterback for the Broncos will be Kendall Hinton. He is a practice squad receiver. He has played backup quarterback at Wake Forest. So he has quarterback experience. So if I was the Saints, I would not write the Broncos off. They are a very dangerous team who are well coached and have great players on defense and some pretty good players on offense as well. So this is going to be an interesting matchup to watch. The Bears and the Packers, another great matchup, will take place tonight. So a lot of great matchups in the NFL this week. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones took place last night. They were in a boxing match. I believe it was 8 rounds. Mike Tyson, of course, making his return after, I think, about 15 or so years of not boxing. And Roy Jones, of course, his last boxing match was about 2 years ago. So both boxers were a little bit rusty, but they put on a really great boxing match, from what I've been hearing, which ended in a draw, which is very interesting. So I expect that there might be a second boxing match between these two, and that'll be interesting to watch as well. So great matchup between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. last night. All right, let's talk about La Salette real quick. There is some news about La Salette. There will be lights at La Salette this year. There will be. They started on November 26th, and it will be going on until January the 3rd. Illuminations are being done daily from 5 to 9 p.m. And there's a couple of things to know before visiting. While on their property, all guests are required to wear facial masks covering their nose and mouth at all times, both indoors and outdoors. Guests, family groups must maintain a social distance of 6 feet from others while both indoors and outdoors. At 8:30 p.m., all buildings open to the public will close. We will announce a reminder at 8. Please plan accordingly. The lights will be turned off promptly at 9 p.m., and all guests are asked that they vacate the property by that time. Be advised, every indoor area is subject to occupancy limits to respect social distance of 6 feet. Please remember that during the Christmas celebration, which will be November 26th through January 3rd, we are open every night from 5 to 9 p.m. We look forward to seeing you at our 68th annual Christmas celebration. So that's good news that La Salette is going forward with their lights this year.
Like everything else has been canceled. They didn't have to cancel, which is good. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Why on our property you have to wear a mask. So we got to respect their rules. So, you pull in, get out of your car and put your mask on and walk, even if you walk around the parking lot. Because you're bumping into people in the parking lot. Parking lot's tight. I mean, I say, 6 feet is the way to go. Mask 6 feet. You should be all right. It's just, if you have underlying conditions, you got to remember that. I mean, if you have underlying conditions to worry about, well, maybe skip it. But that'd be a drag. Now, there's people who've gone every year. I bet there's people who've gone. I bet there's a few people out there who's gone every year. So 68 years. They might be in their 80s, or they might be in their 70s. They might have went every as a kid. Well, 68 years ago. What's that? That's what? What year is that? Real quick, huh? It's a while ago, right?
52.
52.
Yeah. So, if there's any other updates on that, we'll give you the updates here on Middleboro Review.
I'm glad they opened it. I'm glad they didn't cave.
All right, real quick, because we only have a minute left. Today in history. We have one. Actually, no, we have two. I'm sorry. I didn't see the last one. We have two of them. 1963. I Want to Hold Your Hand, recorded on October the 17th, 1963, is released by the Beatles in the United Kingdom. That goes on to be one of their most well-known songs in their discography. The Beatles release I Want to Hold Your Hand on this day in 1963. And in 1972, Atari's most iconic game, Pong, is first commercially successful. First commercially probably released 1972 on this day and becomes extremely successful. It's one of their most iconic games, Atari. A lot of great games on Atari. It is an iconic game system. Birthdays on this day. 1947, Ronnie Montrose, American singer-songwriter, guitarist, and producer. Also, a member of the band Montrose, who their singer, Don, who was their singer? Sammy Hagar, yeah. Who went on to be in Van Halen.
And a successful solo career, too.
Yes. 1949, Jerry Lawler.
And he was in another band, too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
All right. 1949, Jerry Lawler, American wrestler and sportscaster. And in 1955, Howie Mandel was born. He is a Canadian comedian, actor, and television host of Deal or No Deal. And in 2004, John Drew Barrymore, American actor and father of Drew Barrymore, the American actress who was most popular in the movie The Wedding Singer, passed away in 2004 on this day.
The Wedding Singer was an awesome movie.
All right.
And that band is Chickenfoot.
Yeah, yes, Chickenfoot. All right, well, that will do it for today's program. Stay tuned for Bread of Life program coming up here right after a 3-minute news. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Boy, where's the time go, huh?
Yeah. We went over a little. That's okay.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Road. We are AM 1530, WBBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Bye-bye, everybody.